Have you ever spent an evening just, scrolling through real estate sites, dreaming about your next home? Well, what happens behind the scenes when you click that little button to contact an agent? It might actually surprise you. In this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain on a hidden fee that could be shaping your entire home buying journey without you even knowing it.
So, there you are. You finally found it. The kitchen is perfect, it has the right number of bedrooms, and the backyard is just calling your name. It's all right there on your screen. And that next step looks so simple.
You see that Contact Agent button? Yeah, it feels like a direct line to the person who can unlock the front door for you. But what if that one simple click actually triggers a whole financial arrangement in the background, an arrangement you're not even aware of? The real question is, who's paying for it?
Okay, so it all comes down to something called a referral fee. Here's the deal. When a big real estate website connects you with an agent and you end up buying a home with them, that agent often has to pay a huge chunk of their commission right back to the website that sent you their way. It's basically a payment for sending them a new client.
And we're not talking about some small finder's fee here. These referral fees can be anywhere from 30 to 40% of the agent's entire commission. I mean, think about that. A massive slice of the money involved in your transaction isn't going to the agent doing the work, but straight back to the website that just made an introduction. Now, this isn't some shady back alley practice. It's a fundamental part of the business model for the biggest names in the game, like Zillow and Realtor.com. They've really leaned into this success fee model because, they only get paid when a deal actually closes. That gives them a big incentive to connect you with agents who are good at making sales happen.
But here's the million-dollar question. Is this system actually good for you, the consumer? Well, a new report from the Consumer Policy Center is raising some serious red flags. They argue that when these fees get this high, they can really start to hurt both buyers and sellers. Let's dig into what they found.
So the report breaks it down into 4 key risks. First, these fees can keep commission rates high. I mean, if an agent knows they have to give away 40%, they've got way less wiggle room to negotiate with you. Second, it could hurt the quality of service if an agent's take-home pay is smaller and they're stretched thin. Third, and this is a big one, it can limit your choice of who you work with. And finally, the report links the whole system to some potentially deceptive practices.
So how does it limit your choice? Well, get this. When researchers for the report tried it out, they contacted these big websites about a specific house. But they weren't given a list of agents to choose from. Nope. They were funneled directly to a single preferred agent, basically one who pays to be at the top of the list. You might think you're choosing a house, but the website could be choosing your agent for you. Of course, there are 2 sides to every story, right? The portals argue that their system is actually a good thing. It connects you with proven, successful agents who know how to close a deal. And from the agent side, a lot of them actually prefer this model. They'd rather pay a percentage of a guaranteed commission than spend thousands on advertising every month with no promise of getting a client. For them, it's just less risky.
And the big players are definitely not taking these criticisms sitting down. Zillow fired back directly at the report, saying it has little to no evidence for its claims. They argue the report relies on things like anonymous comments on social media instead of actual verified sources. They're standing by their model, saying it works. So what's the solution that the consumer watchdog is pushing for? Well, it all boils down to one word: transparency. They're calling for a really clear 4-step process. First, the referral company has to tell you about the fee. Second, the agent has to tell you too. Third, and this is important, this has to happen before you sign any kind of agreement with them. And fourth, they need to tell you the specific amount of the fee. No fuzzy numbers.
And believe me, this isn't a new fight. Just last year, a committee at the National Association of Realtors actually voted against new disclosure rules like these. After that, some of the big brokerages just started making their own rules internally. And all of that brings us to today, with this new report trying to force a much bigger industry-wide change.
The report really ends with a pretty sharp warning shot to the entire real estate industry. It basically lays down an ultimatum. It says, you can either clean this up yourselves and make these referral fees totally transparent,
or the courts are going to do it for you. The authors are suggesting that if regulators don't step in, the next step could be a wave of lawsuits to force this information out into the open. That would put companies like Zillow, Realtor.com, and Redfin right in the legal crosshairs. So yeah, the stakes are pretty high. Which really leaves us with one final question for you. Just think about it. If that Contact Agent button came with a little pop-up that said, just so you know, if you buy a home with this agent, 40% of their commission will be paid back to us, would that change your decision? Would you still click it, or would you try to find an agent a different way? It's definitely something to chew on the next time you're searching for that dream home.